Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, here with another video. Now, Raw debuted on Netflix last night and it was a pretty fun show, but I wanted to dive in after giving my thoughts on it and give you the good, the bad, and the awesome! Without further ado, let's get into the good. Starting off, I gotta say the production of the show was great. It was very vibrant, very lit up in there, and the camera aspects of the show was definitely you can tell the shots of the show were definitely different compared to when we were on network television. So it was beautifully shot. The drones were amazing. I mean, just that Jey Uso entrance alone was just phenomenal. And I love the background vignettes and everything. It was just really great production for the show on Netflix, and definitely tell we're in a new era of how we shoot the show. I will say this, one of the things about the show, it did not feel like a 3-hour show. I will say that for sure. Sure, it went by pretty fast, but there's some other things I gotta talk about that in the bad, but we'll get to that when we get there. Another thing I liked about the show, it felt like a PLE. It didn't feel like a regular episode of Monday Night Raw, which I like that aspect. And it definitely felt like an event level thing that you just had to be there for. So of course, kudos to them for making it feel bigger than it was supposed to be. So let's get into the bad real quick. Even though I do say that this show did not feel like a 3-hour episode of Monday Night Raw, I will say the pacing was a little bit off, because even though the show went by pretty fast, there were some lull moments where the show did drag on a bit. But that's to be understood with all the vignettes, the promos that we had with, you know, Triple H, The Rock, and all that stuff. So it's to be expected, but the pacing was a little crazy. I will say though, even though there were 4 matches, I will say the matches were kind of 50-50. You know, we had a great opener with Roman and Solo. The main event was great, and then you had the kind of like the lull matches in between. But it is what it is. I'm gonna come right out and say it. The winners of tonight, I think, was kind of bad having all your baby faces win. I know it was to be a good moment for everyone, but having all your faces win, I don't feel like that's really necessary. But hopefully we'll correct that. That's just for the opening night, the debut. Hopefully we'll of course correct that moving forward, but we will see how it goes. You can kind of count this as a good or a bad thing, I don't know. But Hulk Hogan showing up and, you know, promoting his beer, getting booed out the water. I mean, I feel like WWE had to know that he was gonna get booed, like tremendously booed. Like even Macaulay Culkin got a bigger pop than Hulk Hogan, which is crazy. But nonetheless, I gotta say it was not a good look having him out there just promote his beer and all that stuff. But again, we all know wrestling would not be where it is today without him. But come on, man. I will say this is bad, but it's more like confusion of having The Rock be more Dwayne, if you will, because he came out, you know, thanking everyone, you know, giving everyone props, like the people on the Netflix, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and just like you give people all these props. You even gave Cody Rhodes a hug, and you know we had visuals of you drinking tequila backstage with Cody Rhodes. Like, we're not gonna act like the beginning of last year, the final boss wasn't beating Cody Rhodes outside of his own trailer. Like, come on. So I wonder if this was just for the debut of Netflix. I don't know, but it just felt kind of weird and out of nowhere. But I guess we'll see where it goes. I hope this doesn't mean we're still not getting that Rock and Cody or Rock and Roman. It'll be interesting to see where we go, but man, what's going on? Let's just talk about the awesome. Like I said, in the good with the production, Jey had the most awesome entrance ever. I don't know if it's still going to compete with his Leon France for Backlash, but this entrance was amazing, especially with the drone shots coming around the crowd. It was so freaking cool. Another thing I think was awesome, the John Cena promo. Even though he did come out more humble, you know, feeling like, you know, he's just here for this last ride, trying to promote the newer stars as he's ushering his way out. But there is a possibility that he can win his 17th championship, even though he hasn't won a match since 2018. There's a possibility he can win the Royal Rumble. There's a possibility he can win Elimination Chamber. There's a possibility he can get the Money in the Bank and win that 17 title. So I love the promo there. And how awesome was that shot of Rhea and Undertaker? Did it make sense at all? No, not really. But it was an awesome visual and seeing Undertaker out there again. But yeah, not least the match between Seth and CM Punk was just, shall we say, awesome. Match of the night for me. You know, I do think this is not the end of their feud though. I feel like I know this was originally planned, you know, last year for WrestleMania, possibly build up to this year's WrestleMania, but I think we're gonna get another great feud with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. But I do think Seth Rollins needs to win the feud though. Just saying. I will say another bad thing though is we had the total tribal combat match, and you know we're supposed to leave each other's bloodlines behind, and they still get involved. So why are we promoting this like a tribal combat if we're not even going to follow the rules we set place in? I will say though, the KO thing, how he came out, really good, and we're still having KO and Sammy not really interact with each other. The build for this is going to be amazing. But what'd you think of last night's Monday Night Raw? Comment below. Let us know. And as always, enjoy our thoughts. Make sure you like, subscribe. But until then, we will see you guys next video. Yeet.